Rain tapped softly against the windows of the roadside diner, blurring the neon lights outside into streaks of red and blue. Staff Sergeant Marcus Hale sat alone in the corner booth, shoulders squared out of habit, fatigue resting quietly behind his eyes. His uniform jacket hung on the seat beside him, and at his feet lay Titan, a sable-coated German shepherd whose alert gaze missed nothing. Marcus ate late to avoid crowds. Fewer people meant fewer conversations, fewer questions about deployments he didn't want to relive. Titan rested calmly, ears twitching at every door chime, filtering sounds the way only a trained military canine could. The bell above the entrance jingled again. Titan's head lifted first. Marcus followed his dog's line of sight and saw a girl standing just inside the doorway. She couldn't have been older than 12. A baby was bundled tightly against her chest, wrapped in a faded blanket much too thin for the cold. Her sneakers were soaked, her sleeves too long for her arms. She didn't move toward the counter. She looked at the tables. Specifically at plates. Titan stood slowly, tail neutral, posture relaxed but attentive. Not alarmed. Curious. He took 2 silent steps forward, then stopped, watching her the way he watched civilians in crowded terminals overseas. Careful, assessing. Marcus gave a small nod. "It's okay," he said gently. The girl approached, each step hesitant but steady. Up close, Marcus could see the exhaustion in her face. Not dramatic. Just deep and permanent. "Sir," she said softly, voice controlled in a way no child should be. "When you're done, can we eat what's left?" No begging. No tears. Just a question shaped by hunger and dignity. Marcus looked down at his barely touched meal. Titan sat beside the girl without being told. A quiet decision. Acceptance. That was all Marcus needed. "Sit," he said, sliding his plate toward her. "Both of you." She blinked. "I don't want to cause trouble." "You're not," he replied. The waitress came over, already understanding. Another plate appeared. Warm water for the baby. The girl ate slowly, carefully, pausing whenever the baby stirred. Marcus watched her hands, steady, practiced. "You have a name?" he asked. "Lena," she said. "And this is Noah." Titan lowered himself beside her chair, guarding nothing, simply staying close. Outside, rain kept falling. Inside, something had just changed. Marcus felt it settle in his chest like a new mission he hadn't planned for. And he already knew he wouldn't be walking away tonight. Marcus told himself he was just making sure she got somewhere safe. That was how it started. Rain slicked the sidewalks as Lena walked through dim side streets, Noah sleeping against her shoulder. She didn't look back, but she moved like someone used to being watched. Alert, efficient, never wasting a step. Titan walked quietly at Marcus's side, leash loose. Every few yards the dog glanced ahead, then back, silently confirming their shared decision. They stopped beneath an overpass where concrete pillars rose like gray tree trunks. A narrow stairwell led down to a row of low basement apartments. Paint peeled from the doors, but the small window glowed warm. Lena unlocked it with a key on a string around her neck. Inside, the place was tiny but spotless. A couch with folded blankets. A single lamp. A kettle on a hot plate. No clutter. No waste. "Grandma," Lena called softly. A weak voice answered from the back room. Marcus stayed near the door until Lena waved him in. Titan moved ahead first, slow and respectful. In the bedroom, an elderly woman lay propped on pillows, oxygen tubing beneath her nose. Her eyes were sharp despite her frail body. "Who's this?" she asked. "Marine," Lena said. "He helped us." The woman studied Marcus, then Titan. "Military dog," she murmured. "They don't trust easy." Titan lay down beside the bed, chin on paws. That seemed to be enough. Her name was Rosa. Heart failure. Couldn't work. Lena had quit school to care for her. Noah wasn't family, someone had left him with them and never returned. "We manage," Rosa said firmly. "We don't ask for handouts." Marcus nodded. "I didn't come to hand out anything." "Then why are you here?" He thought for a moment. "Because where I come from, you don't ignore civilians in trouble." Silence filled the room, heavy but not hostile. Lena fed Noah with quiet efficiency. Rosa adjusted her oxygen line. Titan didn't move, just breathed slow and steady. Marcus realized what unsettled him most. They weren't helpless. They were holding the line alone. "I'll check in tomorrow," he said finally. Rosa gave a small nod. "If you want." Outside, rain echoed beneath the overpass. Marcus clipped Titan's leash back on, but the weight in his chest didn't lighten. This wasn't a single meal problem. This was a long war fought quietly in a forgotten corner of the city. And for the first time in years, Marcus felt deployed again. Marcus didn't bring money the next day. He brought information. By noon, he had Rosa scheduled with a Veterans Partner medical program that helped civilians in emergency cases. By afternoon, oxygen support was upgraded, medications adjusted, and a social worker discreetly assigned without threatening to separate Lena and Noah. He called the school district. Transportation arranged. Flexible attendance. Quiet support. Every step required patience, signatures, and conversations Marcus would have avoided in his old life. But missions weren't always fought with weapons. Sometimes they were fought with paperwork. Titan became a regular presence in the apartment, lying near Rosa's bed during visits. Her breathing always eased when he was there. Noah discovered Titan's ears were endlessly fascinating. Lena started smiling more, small at first, then real. Weeks passed. Then the river flooded. Sirens cut through the night as water swallowed streets near the overpass. Marcus didn't wait for orders. He drove straight into the storm. Inside the darkened building, water already lapped at the stairwell. Lena stood ready, Noah strapped to her chest, Rosa pale but calm. "I knew you'd come," Lena said. "Let's move," Marcus replied. He carried Rosa. Lena held his jacket. Titan tested each step ahead of them, guiding through rising water. Halfway down, Lena's voice shook for the first time. "If something happens, don't let Noah go into the system." Marcus met her eyes. "I don't leave people behind." Outside, rescue crews pulled them into a boat as the lower level disappeared beneath churning water. Months later, spring sunlight filled a small house miles from any flood zone. Rosa knitted by the window, color back in her cheeks. Lena did homework at the kitchen table. Noah toddled across the floor toward Titan, who thumped his tail lazily. Marcus stood in the doorway, coffee cooling in his hand. He had thought being a Marine meant completing missions and moving on. He had been wrong. Sometimes the mission was staying. No parade. No medals. Just school schedules, medical appointments, and a dog snoring on the porch. Lena looked up. "Sir?" He smiled. "You can call me Marcus now." Titan sighed in his sleep, and the house settled into quiet peace. Not rescued. Not saved. Just together. And that, Marcus finally understood, was the real miracle.